Oh, hey guys. Welcome to another episode of The Real Tea on Realty. Today we're going to talk about the question that I get a lot, which is, how much money do I need to buy a house? All right, so it's the year 2022. We are in North Carolina, and I told you on last episode, it is a seller's market, which means buyers, you got to be prepared to pay for your own stuff. So if you want to know how much money you need, like automatically off the bat to buy a house, majority of the time, I'm going to say that you need about 8 to 10% of the purchase price. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some down payment programs available to first-time home buyers. And there could be some other down payment programs available to you through different lenders, which is always why it's a good idea to talk to several different lenders to see what you qualify for. But for the most part, you need 8 to 10% of the purchase price. Let me break it down. So the first thing you're going to need money for is something called due diligence, and I will discuss that in my next episode. But for due diligence, you're going to need 1 to 2% of your purchase price. If you want to compete with a really good offer, it's actually a good idea to do more than that. So I say the base is 1 to 2%. So if the house is $100,000, you need at least $1,000 to $2,000 to put down for the due diligence. Once you go under contract, your lender is going to come to you and say, hey, we have to order the appraisal, and you're going to pay for it. Appraisals usually run somewhere between $400 and I lately heard $800. So very bare minimum $400, max $800, somewhere between. That's what your appraisal is going to cost. You pay for that shortly after you go under contract on a property. Once you paid for the appraisal and you're in your due diligence period, you're going to want to get some inspections done. Things like home inspection, PEST inspection, radon testing. If you're buying a home out in the country, you might want to get a survey. You're going to want to get a septic inspection, a well inspection. All of these things, they're not mandatory, but they are recommended that you get those done. So if you were to get all of those things done, you might pay somewhere around $1,500. But if you get the basics like a home inspection, PEST, and radon, you may pay somewhere between $575 and $700 for that. And that's total for like all three, not individually. So the max amount you might spend is $1,500. The minimum amount you'll spend is about $500 for inspections. Next up is your cash to close. Now your cash to close consists of two different things. One is your down payment. You'll know how much that is ahead of time because when you apply for a loan, you'll get something called a loan estimate, and they'll tell you, hey, you qualified for a conventional loan, which the lowest down payment I've seen on conventional is 3%. However, there could be some 100% finance conventional loans out there. Check with different lenders. But if you get the minimum down payment for a conventional loan, it's generally 3%. It could be about 5%. So somewhere between 3 and 5%. Let's say 3 at the minimum. 3% for your down payment. And then your closing costs will be somewhere between 3 and 4% of the purchase price. Now, remember when I told you about that due diligence at the beginning, where I said you need 1 to 2%? Well, here's the kicker. If you do 1 to 2% due diligence at the top of the contract, you get a credit of that towards your closing costs. So generally your closing costs are 3 to 4%, but if you've already put down that 1 to 2%, you'll only have to bring another 1 to 2% to closing. I like to tell people, if you really, really love the house and you want to be really, really competitive, you know your closing costs are going to be somewhere between 3 and 4% of the purchase price, put it as your down payment. You get the credit at the end. But the only thing with that is due diligence fees are non-refundable if you walk away from the house. Look, I'll talk about it some more in episode 3. So, how much money do you need right now if you want to buy a house? Well, if you don't qualify for any down payment assistance programs and you don't have money saved up already, you're going to need at least 8 to 10% of the purchase price. So, $100,000 house, you're going to need $8,000 to $10,000 right off the bat. $200,000 house, you're going to need $16,000 to $20,000. So, if you have any other questions, reach out to me. Feel free to leave me some questions in the comments. If you like the information that you heard, click the like button. If you want to hear more information, click subscribe. And if there's anything that you want to hear about or learn more about on real estate in North Carolina, leave me a comment and I'll get those videos made for you as soon as possible. You guys have a great day. Adios.